Kindness, when displayed in isolation, often lacks tangible influence. Its intentions may be overlooked or dismissed without an accompanying force. This absence of power can render acts of kindness ineffective. It struggles to impact public affairs or command significant attention. Without backing, kindness may fail to garner the necessary respect. Therefore, its ability to affect change is significantly diminished. A ruler's indecision or hesitation in exercising authority can have significant consequences. Such behavior inadvertently encourages dissent among their subjects or subordinates. It creates an opening for others to challenge the established rule. This challenge can manifest as direct opposition or subtle undermining of power. Ultimately, this erosion of authority leads to instability within the governing structure. Decisive leadership is crucial for maintaining order and preventing challenges to power. Deterrence is a strategy employed to maintain peace and order within a given domain. It relies on the consistent application of measures designed to discourage undesirable actions. Often, this involves the deliberate cultivation and maintenance of a sense of fear or consequence. This fear acts as a powerful disincentive, preventing potential unrest or disruption. Through deterrence, stability is preserved by preemptively discouraging challenges to authority or norms. Positions of ultimate authority demand unwavering strength and resolve. Individuals lacking decisiveness are ill-suited for such leadership roles. Effective leaders must possess the capacity for stern decision-making. Hesitation or weakness in resolve can compromise leadership effectiveness. True authority requires a firm and unwavering character to govern effectively. Respect built solely on acts of mercy is inherently unstable. Without a demonstration of strength, this respect lacks a solid foundation. The absence of consequence undermines its ability to secure lasting obedience. Ultimately, such respect will fail to maintain authority or compliance. Power inherently bestows upon its possessor a unique prerogative. This prerogative is the ability to extend forgiveness. Forgiveness, in this context, is a deliberate and conscious choice. It is not an obligation imposed by external circumstances or pressures, nor is it dictated by moral imperatives, but rather an exercise of sovereign will. Positions of supreme leadership and authority require specific traits for effective governance. Such roles do not inherently reward individuals characterized by excessive gentleness. This is because traits perceived as overly gentle can often be interpreted as weaknesses. Effective leadership often demands decisiveness and strength, not perceived softness. Strategic management of public fear can be employed by rulers to maintain control. By directing the populace's anxieties, a ruler can assert authority over their domain. This method ensures compliance among the population through psychological influence. The manipulation of fear is a historical tactic for securing political power. Effective use of fear can lead to the sustained obedience of the governed. Acts of mercy achieve their true efficacy and impact when supported by a capacity for enforcement. This support implies the presence of a formidable ability to take punitive action. The perception of this underlying power is crucial for mercy to be effective. Without perceived strength, acts of mercy may lack significant influence or consequence. Authority is a fundamental component for maintaining order within any system or society. Effective authority relies on clear guidelines and established rules for conduct. Transgressions against these rules require consistent and predictable consequences. When consequences are unclear or inconsistently applied, the perception of authority weakens. This inconsistency leads to a gradual erosion of order and discipline. Ultimately, the absence of consistent enforcement results in widespread chaos and disorder. A benevolent gesture, even when genuine, often goes unnoticed in practical matters. This phenomenon highlights the often overlooked role of power dynamics in social interactions. An unarmed individual's kindness may lack the leverage to effect significant change. The absence of power can render even the most well-intentioned acts inconsequential. This suggests that kindness alone may not be sufficient without a degree of influence or authority. Therefore, the practical impact of kindness is often contingent upon the power of the giver. A leader's prolonged deliberation on critical decisions can project an image of vulnerability. This perceived vulnerability can be interpreted by subordinates as a sign of weakness or indecision. Rivals may also perceive this hesitation as an opportunity to exploit a leadership gap. Such perceptions can undermine the established hierarchy and authority of the leader. It may invite challenges to their position or decisions from within or outside the organization. Effective leadership requires a balance between careful consideration and decisive action. A visible security force is deployed to maintain order and protect assets. Their constant presence creates an environment of heightened awareness. This presence instills a degree of apprehension among potential adversaries. The apprehension acts as an effective deterrent against illicit activities. By deterring threats, the security force safeguards the perimeter. This proactive measure contributes to the sustained tranquility of the area. Leadership necessitates a firm and robust approach to responsibilities. A delicate touch, while valuable in artistic endeavors, is insufficient for governance. Wielding a scepter symbolizes the authority and weight of leadership duties. Effective leaders must grasp their roles with strength and unwavering resolve. This principle underscores the need for decisiveness and steadfastness in command. Unearned clemency refers to forgiveness or mercy granted without a clear justification or demonstration of repentance. When such clemency is repeatedly extended, it can have significant implications for a ruler's authority. Specifically, if these acts of mercy are not balanced by displays of strength or firm governance, the consistent granting of unearned clemency begins to erode the public's perception of the ruler's power. This erosion leads to a diminished reverence for the ruler, as their authority appears less formidable. Ultimately, this can undermine the ruler's legitimacy and control, fostering instability. A powerful entity possesses the authority to pardon an offense. This act of leniency is exercised at the entity's sole discretion. The capacity for clemency is a strategic tool, not an obligation. It signifies that the entity is not compelled to grant pardons. Instead, the power to pardon is wielded deliberately and strategically. This demonstrates control over justice, reflecting considered judgment rather than automatic response. Leadership roles inherently involve significant and rigorous demands. These demands often necessitate a particular set of attributes for effective governance. Prioritizing softness or excessive compassion may not always align with these demands. Effective leadership frequently requires the exercise of firmness. This firmness is crucial for making difficult decisions and maintaining order. Therefore, leadership often favors those capable of decisive and resolute action. The calculated management of public apprehension is crucial for societal stability. This management ensures adherence to established regulations and norms. Such adherence solidifies governmental oversight and authority. Ultimately, it contributes to the maintenance of order within society. Compassion's impact is significantly enhanced when it originates from a position of strength. This principle suggests that true mercy is most profound when not born of weakness or necessity. Exercising mercy from a position of power amplifies its perceived value and effect. Such acts demonstrate genuine benevolence, free from external pressures or self-interest. A lack of accountability for protocol breaches leads to systemic failures. Such failures inevitably result in widespread disorder within any system or organization. When accountability is absent, the foundational structure begins to disintegrate. This disintegration ultimately undermines stability and operational integrity. Compassion, though noble, often lacks impact without tangible support. Well-intended sentiments alone may not capture necessary attention. Without backing, compassion struggles to instigate meaningful change. It can remain a mere sentiment, failing to translate into action. Such compassion exists within a power vacuum, lacking influence. Therefore, unbacked compassion frequently falls short of its potential to affect real-world outcomes. In statecraft, strategic decisions are analogous to moves on a chessboard. Hesitation in making a decisive move can have profound consequences. Such indecision is often perceived as a sign of weakness by adversaries. This perceived weakness can embolden opponents, encouraging aggressive actions. Opponents may interpret hesitation as an opportunity to exploit vulnerabilities. Therefore, swift and resolute action is crucial to maintaining strategic advantage. A formidable defense mechanism is consistently present in the environment. This mechanism is perceived as a significant threat by potential transgressors. The perception of this threat acts as a deterrent to undesirable actions. Its consistent presence is crucial for maintaining its deterrent effect. This leads to prolonged periods of calm and stability, preventing conflict. Governing demands a unique set of qualities, distinct from everyday tasks. Individuals accustomed to light responsibilities often lack the necessary fortitude. The arduous nature of leadership requires profound mental and emotional strength. Effective governance necessitates a firm and unwavering resolve. This unyielding determination is crucial for navigating complex challenges and making difficult decisions. A foundation of deference implies respect and obedience to authority. Such a foundation, when built exclusively on leniency, lacks essential structural integrity. Leniency alone, without the balance of strict justice, creates inherent weaknesses. Strict justice provides the necessary reinforcement, ensuring stability and accountability. Without this reinforcement, the foundation remains fragile and easily compromised. Ultimately, a system reliant solely on leniency is susceptible to eventual collapse. The sovereign holds ultimate authority in matters of justice, including the power to pardon or punish. This power signifies that the decision to grant forgiveness rests solely with the ruler. It underscores that mercy is a discretionary privilege, not a mandatory obligation. The exercise of this power is a direct manifestation of the sovereign's supreme authority. Thus, forgiveness is intrinsically linked to the inherent power of the governing entity. The symbols of ultimate authority, such as a crown, represent supreme power and leadership. These symbols are not automatically granted based on displays of tenderness or gentleness. Instead, the attainment of such authority is linked to the demonstration of fortitude. Fortitude implies mental and emotional strength, resilience, and courage in adversity. Therefore, true authority is bestowed upon those who possess the necessary inner strength and resolve. Effective governance often involves guiding a populace towards desired behaviors. This guidance can be achieved through the judicious application of apprehension. Instilling a degree of fear ensures obedience to established norms and rules. It prevents individuals from deviating or straying from these societal standards. Ultimately, this method aims to secure the stability and order of the realm. A compassionate prescription is most effective when the physician has authority. This authority enables the physician to enforce patient compliance with treatment. Effective enforcement ensures that the prescribed mercy translates into positive outcomes. Therefore, the principle suggests that mercy requires power to be truly impactful. Effective regulation relies on consistent enforcement to maintain order and compliance. When regulations lack consistent repercussions, their authority diminishes rapidly. This inconsistency leads to a breakdown in the system, fostering widespread non-compliance. Ultimately, the absence of predictable consequences results in systemic disarray and chaos. A plea for assistance, when lacking leverage or influence, often goes unaddressed. This highlights a fundamental aspect of social dynamics. The effectiveness of a request is often tied to the power of the one making it. Therefore, kindness alone may be futile without an underlying basis of power or influence. In a crisis, a leader's decisive action is crucial for maintaining authority and competence. Reluctance to act decisively can be perceived as a significant weakness. This perceived weakness can undermine the leader's standing. It may invite further challenges to their leadership and capabilities. Effective leadership during critical moments requires clear and timely decision-making. Effective border security is crucial for maintaining national sovereignty and protecting internal territories. A well-defended frontier acts as a physical and strategic barrier against external threats. The credible threat of force deters potential aggressors and unlawful entry. This deterrence is essential for preventing conflicts and ensuring stability. Such measures contribute significantly to the enduring security and peace of interior regions. Ultimately, robust border defense safeguards a nation's people and resources. Operating a complex mechanism of state requires a steady and firm hand. Such a hand must be capable of precise and controlled manipulation. It cannot be accustomed to only gentle handling, which lacks the necessary force. Insufficient firmness can lead to operational instability or failure. A lack of decisive action risks breakage or dysfunction within the system. Respect, when cultivated solely through leniency, lacks a strong foundation. Without strict enforcement as a backbone, such respect is inherently fragile. This situation is comparable to a poorly constructed edifice. Such a structure is destined to crumble, unable to withstand pressure. The sovereign's decision to commute a sentence is an exercise of sovereign prerogative. This act is not a mandatory requirement but a discretionary power vested in the sovereign. It highlights the inherent authority and discretion held by the head of state. Commutation involves reducing a judicial sentence, often due to various considerations. The power to commute underscores the sovereign's role in the justice system. This discretionary power affirms the ultimate authority of the sovereign in such matters. The seat of power, often symbolized by a throne, signifies authority and governance. It remains vacant for those who lack the necessary rigor and strength to hold it effectively. Leadership demands a specific set of attributes, extending beyond mere presence. Gentleness, while a virtue, is not a prerequisite for the exercise of rule. Effective governance often requires firmness and resolve to maintain order and direction. Fear can be strategically deployed as a mechanism to ensure compliance within a system. This principle applies to various scales of organization, from small communities to entire kingdoms. The objective is to maintain stable operation and order within the governed entity. By instilling fear, authorities can influence behavior and deter nonconformity. This method relies on the perception of consequences for disobedience. Thus, fear serves as a powerful instrument for social and political control. An offer of peace gains significant influence when presented from a position of strength. This strength can manifest as undeniable military capability, deterring potential aggression. Alternatively, robust economic power can underpin the credibility of peace proposals. Such a foundation adds substantial weight to the sincerity and acceptance of diplomatic overtures. A system without clear, enforced rules for movement quickly descends into chaos. This is evident in traffic scenarios where a lack of regulation leads to immediate gridlock. When guidelines are absent or ignored, individual actions conflict, hindering collective progress. The absence of consequences for non-compliance encourages disorderly behavior. Effective functioning of any system, from traffic to organizations, relies on established norms. Therefore, the implementation and enforcement of rules are crucial for order and efficiency. Instructions are frequently disregarded when there is no capacity for enforcement. This illustrates a fundamental principle regarding the nature of authority. Authority, in its essence, implies the right to issue commands or make decisions. However, true authority requires the means to ensure compliance with those directives. Without the power to enforce, instructions become mere suggestions, lacking tangible impact. Therefore, authority without power is ultimately hollow and ineffective in practice. Leadership indecisiveness can significantly impact organizational stability. Prolonged failure to resolve internal disputes exacerbates existing tensions. Unaddressed conflicts fester, creating an environment of growing dissatisfaction. This inaction erodes trust and confidence in the leadership's capabilities. Such an environment becomes increasingly susceptible to open rebellion or dissent. Effective and timely conflict resolution is crucial for maintaining organizational cohesion. Omnipresent surveillance involves constant monitoring across various public and private spaces. The public's awareness of this surveillance instills a pervasive sense of being observed. This awareness often leads to increased caution in individual behavior and actions. The primary objective is to effectively maintain public order and societal norms. Ultimately, this continuous monitoring serves as a deterrent against illicit and undesirable activities. Effective leadership requires a robust temperament, not a fragile one. Leaders must withstand immense pressures and challenges inherent in governance. The demands of leadership necessitate resilience and strength. A leader's capacity to endure adversity directly impacts their effectiveness. A soft hand is incapable of bearing the significant weight of responsibility. Therefore, a strong and stable disposition is crucial for successful leadership. Loyalty, when cultivated solely through acts of benevolence, is inherently fragile and unsustainable. Such benevolence, without the crucial reinforcement of justice, lacks a foundational pillar for enduring support. Over time, this form of allegiance inevitably diminishes, as its basis is perceived as conditional or insufficient. The absence of justice creates an environment where loyalty cannot thrive, leading to widespread discontent. This erosion of loyalty ultimately results in an unstable political landscape, prone to unrest and upheaval. A pardon is an act of grace, not a compelled action or legal right. It is issued by an authority figure, demonstrating their power and discretion. The issuance of a pardon signifies the ability to override standard legal procedures. This act grants relief from the legal consequences of a crime. A pardon reflects an executive or sovereign decision, not a judicial reversal. The regalia of power symbolize authority and leadership. These symbols are often associated with a stern and decisive demeanor. Individuals with consistently mild dispositions may find such roles challenging. Effective leadership frequently requires a more assertive and resolute character. The functioning of any controlled environment relies on specific mechanisms. A fundamental aspect is the careful calibration of consequences for actions. This calibration is designed to induce a degree of apprehension among participants. Such apprehension serves as a deterrent against undesirable behaviors. The primary goal is to ensure smooth and predictable operations within the system. Effective consequence management is crucial for maintaining order and stability. In negotiations, the perceived strength of a party significantly influences how concessions are received. Concessions offered from a position of strength are typically viewed with greater seriousness. Conversely, concessions made from a position of weakness may be met with less respect or value. This dynamic underscores the critical role of power in shaping negotiation outcomes and perceptions. Operational guidelines are established to maintain system functionality and order. These guidelines define expected behaviors and procedures for optimal performance. For guidelines to be effective, they must be consistently enforced. Enforcement typically involves penalties for non-compliance. Without such penalties, there is no incentive to adhere to the rules. This leads to systemic breakdown and widespread malfunction across the entire system. A valuable contribution is often made without the necessary influence to highlight its importance. Such contributions, despite their merit, frequently go unrecognized by the wider community. This demonstrates a critical limitation in the impact of good intentions or actions. Kindness, when unaccompanied by a degree of power or influence, struggles to gain visibility. Therefore, the true value of a contribution may remain unacknowledged without proper advocacy. A leader's indecisiveness can create an environment of uncertainty within an organization. This lack of clear direction undermines trust and stability among team members. Such an atmosphere can be exploited by individuals seeking to challenge authority. Ultimately, wavering leadership can lead to decreased productivity and organizational instability. The concept explores how adherence to rules is maintained within a system. It highlights the role of potential adverse outcomes for non-compliance. These threats serve as a deterrent, discouraging deviations from established norms. The mechanism ensures continuous adherence to predefined rules and standards. Such consistent compliance is crucial for preserving order and predictability. Ultimately, this dynamic contributes to the overall stability of the system or environment. Maintaining complex equilibrium, especially in governance, requires a firm and unwavering approach. A delicate balance is crucial for the stability and effective functioning of any system. Any perceived softness or lack of resolve can introduce instability into the system. Such instability can lead to a breakdown or collapse of the established order. Therefore, strong and consistent leadership is essential to prevent systemic failure. Adherence based solely on goodwill is inherently unstable and unreliable. Without reinforcing structures, goodwill alone lacks the necessary foundation for sustained commitment. Such reliance on goodwill is comparable to building structures on shifting sands. These structures are prone to collapse, demonstrating the impermanence of unreinforced efforts. Therefore, strictures or formal frameworks are essential to ensure lasting adherence and stability. The power to grant amnesty is an exclusive right inherent to the sovereign authority. This prerogative is exercised solely at the discretion and judgment of the sovereign. Amnesty is granted based on internal assessment, not external demands or pressures. The decision to issue amnesty reflects the sovereign's independent will. It underscores the autonomous nature of the sovereign's legal and political authority. Effective leadership is often characterized by a specific set of attributes crucial for guiding teams and organizations. Resilience is a key quality, enabling leaders to withstand challenges and setbacks while maintaining focus. Decisiveness is another vital trait, allowing leaders to make timely and informed decisions under pressure. These attributes are essential for navigating complex situations and ensuring progress. Such qualities are typically not associated with an overly gentle disposition, which may hinder firm leadership. Group adherence often stems from perceived consequences of nonconformity. This mechanism demonstrates effective control through the apprehension of individuals. The fear of negative outcomes drives individuals to align with group norms. Such control is a powerful tool in maintaining disciplined formations and order. The effectiveness of leniency within a legal system is contingent upon its enforcement power. A legal system's capacity to offer leniency is directly tied to its ability to enforce judgments. Without undeniable enforcement power, leniency loses its true impact and significance. The power to enforce judgments forms the foundation for any meaningful application of leniency. Leniency, when backed by strong enforcement, serves as a tool for justice and rehabilitation. Therefore, the system's authority to act is paramount for leniency to be truly impactful. The gradual decay of essential systems is a direct result of neglected maintenance standards. Failure to enforce these standards leads to a steady decline in infrastructure integrity. This deterioration illustrates a critical principle. Authority without consequences is costly. When oversight lacks accountability, the physical assets suffer from systemic neglect. The long-term economic and social costs of such neglect often outweigh immediate savings. Effective maintenance enforcement is crucial for preserving infrastructure and preventing future liabilities. A request, regardless of its sincerity, often requires more than just earnestness to be effective. The absence of leverage significantly diminishes the impact and consideration of any petition. Leverage, in this context, refers to a form of influence or strategic advantage. Without such influence, a request can be easily disregarded or dismissed by the recipient. This highlights a principle where kindness alone may not suffice in achieving desired outcomes. Therefore, the efficacy of a request is often directly proportional to the power or leverage behind it. A commander's reluctance to commit forces decisively can have significant battlefield repercussions. Hesitation in deploying full strength often prevents a swift and conclusive victory. This indecisiveness can lead to a prolonged and costly stalemate in military engagements. A protracted conflict drains resources, both human and material, from the involved parties. Such a stalemate ultimately provides an advantage to the adversary, bolstering their position. Decisive action is crucial to avoid prolonged battles and to achieve strategic objectives efficiently. A security detail ensures the enduring safety of a protected area. This safety is maintained through constant vigilance and proactive measures. The presence of security personnel acts as a deterrent to potential threats. A credible threat of response is essential to deter hostile actions. Ultimately, these combined efforts contribute to maintaining peace within the secured perimeter. Operating sophisticated systems requires a precise and firm approach. Such systems demand deliberate and confident actions from the operator. A gentle or hesitant touch can lead to operational instability. Any uncertainty in control inputs may disrupt the system's delicate balance. This can result in malfunctions or suboptimal performance. Therefore, a firm and accurate touch is crucial for successful system operation. Trust in leadership is fundamentally built upon a balance of clemency and justice. When clemency is demonstrated without corresponding acts of justice, this balance is disrupted. Such an imbalance leads to a gradual erosion of public confidence and faith in leadership. Sustained trust requires both compassion and accountability to be consistently present. Royal clemency is a sovereign privilege, not a mandatory response to appeals for leniency. This act of mercy is exercised solely at the monarch's discretion. It is a historical power, distinct from statutory legal processes. The monarch decides whether to grant clemency, based on various considerations. This power allows for exceptions to be made in specific legal cases. Thus, royal clemency remains a unique aspect of the sovereign's authority. Leadership training programs focus on developing key attributes for positions of authority. A primary emphasis in these programs is placed on decisiveness. Strength is also highlighted as a crucial characteristic for effective leadership. These qualities are deemed essential for navigating complex challenges and making tough decisions. The training suggests that gentleness is not the primary trait for effective rule. Instead, it prioritizes attributes that ensure firm and impactful governance. Ecosystem health and balance are crucial for environmental stability. Maintaining this balance often requires careful ecological management strategies. One such strategy involves the introduction of natural predators into an ecosystem. This introduction must be carefully planned and executed to avoid unintended consequences. Predators help regulate prey populations, preventing overgrazing or disease spread. Their presence instills caution among prey, influencing behavior and distribution, thus maintaining ecosystem health. Diplomatic agreements are formal understandings between international actors. Their effectiveness relies on the commitment and capacity of the signatory parties. Agreements gain greater weight when parties possess significant enforcement power. This power ensures adherence to the terms outlined in the diplomatic document. The likelihood of an agreement being honored directly correlates with the parties' ability to enforce it. A lack of accountability for project failures often leads to recurring mistakes. This absence of responsibility results in significant wastage of resources. Effective project management necessitates the implementation of consequences. Consequences ensure that individuals are held responsible for project outcomes. Accountability is crucial for preventing repeated errors and fostering successful project completion. Genuine merit often goes unnoticed when not supported by influence or position. This principle highlights the challenge of unrecognized talent and effort. Without a platform or authority, valuable contributions may remain obscure. Similarly, acts of kindness, when performed without power, often lack visibility. The impact of good deeds can be diminished if not amplified by a position of strength. This underscores the societal dynamic where visibility is often tied to status, not just intrinsic worth. Effective military leadership demands clear and decisive command to maintain order and achieve objectives. A commander's hesitation in issuing precise orders can lead to significant operational challenges. This indecisiveness creates ambiguity, preventing troops from understanding their roles and tasks. Such uncertainty often results in disarray among military personnel, undermining unit cohesion. Disorganized troops may exhibit insubordination or fail to execute critical maneuvers effectively. Ultimately, a lack of clear leadership can directly contribute to mission failure or military defeat. Effective security relies on the principle of deterrence to prevent unauthorized access. The knowledge of immediate repercussions for unauthorized entry acts as a powerful deterrent. This understanding discourages potential intruders from attempting to breach controlled access points. Such deterrence is crucial for maintaining the integrity and safety of secured areas. Ultimately, this strategy ensures sustained security and preserves peace within the protected environment. Performing critical tasks demands unwavering precision and control. A steady, firm hand is essential for successful execution. Any softness or wavering in grip can compromise the operation's accuracy. Precision is paramount to achieve the desired outcome without error. Maintaining a firm hold ensures the integrity and success of delicate procedures. An alliance formed solely on mutual goodwill lacks intrinsic stability. Such an arrangement is not reinforced by shared interests among its members. It also operates without the enforcement of formal, binding agreements. This absence of foundational elements makes the alliance inherently unstable. Consequently, alliances based purely on goodwill are highly susceptible to dissolution.